The Philadelphia Eagles dethroned the Kansas City Chiefs here in Super Bowl 59 on the backs of the defense that sacked Patrick Mahomes 6 times.
LSU got their lick back on Florida in the College World Series and won its first national title in 14 years, a performance that would be history in the making.
Welcome into night one of the NFL draft. 257 young men will receive life-changing phone calls, and one of those guys could very well be New Iberia native Trey Amos.
Here is what it will look like. The Saints will get Denver's first-round pick for this year's draft, which also happens to be the 29th overall pick. For the first time since 2008, the Kansas Jayhawks sit atop the college basketball world after coming from behind against North Carolina, 72-69. Keon, once you got the call, you heard your name across the TV. How good did that feel?
I mean, it felt great, to know that your dream coming true.
Kim Mulkey came to LSU to win championships, and in just year two, the Bayou Bengals have done just that, winning the program's first ever national title, beating the Iowa Hawkeyes, and getting Mulkey her 4th championship. Not only did LSU dominate, but they made absolute history on the field. Their 594 yards of total offense is a Citrus Bowl record. Good evening and welcome back into sports here from Tiger Stadium, where just a few minutes ago it was absolute pandemonium as you just saw LSU get the upset victory in overtime over Ole Miss. LSU picked up a 10-point victory to advance in the NCAA tournament against the Rice Owls, but it wasn't the Tigers' best outing. They would turn the ball over 24 times. How important is it to get this championship? What does it do for the program going forward?
It keeps enhancing the tradition.
I am joined by Georgia signee and kicker Peyton Woodring. Peyton, how does it feel to know that you're joining the defending national champions?
It's awesome.
For the first time since 2019, LSU has won a regional right here in Baton Rouge at Alex Box Stadium. The Tigers' 13-7 victory over Oregon State would be the exclamation point on an undefeated run in this regional.
Alyson Habetz is back where it all started. The UL alumna ended her 25-year stint with Alabama to retire in 2023, but steps back in the circle as the leader of her alma mater.
It's a dream that I didn't even know I had. God has worked that way, that he puts in front of me things that I didn't even know could happen.
As the youngest of 8 in the Habetz family,
They're the backbone of who I am.
the homecoming allows her to take UL to new heights. But the biggest pitch to accepting the job would be continuing to take care of her mother while coaching the game that she loves.
Everything I'm about, everything I do has their fingerprints on everything.
The Diamond has always been Coach Allie's ministry. At Notre Dame, she fought to become the first female in Louisiana to play high school baseball. Habetz would then go on to let her as a 2-sport athlete at then USL. She'd become a 1,000-point scorer in basketball and earn All-American and All-Region accolades in softball.
Alyson was always one of the hardest workers on the team. Very passionate, very loyal.
You can check all the boxes, and you can put Alyson's name at the top, and you will successfully check the boxes.
In 1993, Habetz pushed the Ragin' Cajuns to the Women's College World Series, and that's why those that witnessed her game believe in her leadership.
That was a walk-off grand slam. I don't know that you could have found a better fit.
With homegrown Allie here, Allie from Crowley here, you're going to hear it in Crowley.
And as Habetz steps to the plate of this new journey, she'll aim to knock things out of the park with her family at the core.
Not only can I impact lives and do something I love to do with my family, who I'm passionate about, and still take care of my mom, I can do it with the Cajuns. I mean, that's my heart.
In Lafayette, I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick.
Hit the road, Jack.
That interaction with people is what I like. Having that give and take is just another stage for me.
Anybody else? Cold beer? What you need?
You can never go to a UL baseball game
All right, we're going that way.
without being met by this voice.
Cold beer here.
Those chants come from Anthony Daniels,
There we go.
or as many know him, the Cold Beer Man.
Cold beer.
Anthony is the best beer man this ballpark's ever had. First off, he's here for every single game.
Cold beer.
Daniels has belted his famous hits at Russo Park for 3 seasons. His job description may be to just sell brewskis,
Thank you very much.
but once the first pitch is hummed,
So they say play ball, we can get started.
he steps into the spotlight.
Cold beer.
When people start coming to games and they're like, oh, I listened to the game on the radio or I watched the game on TV the night before, and all we heard was you the whole time.
Up in here.
You know, when that starts happening about 4, 5, 6 times a game,
Oh, yeah.
10 times in a weekend, okay, well, there's something more to this.
The Sound of Music isn't just an act for the New Iberian native, it's the soundtrack of his life. To Cajun fans, he's the Brew MC.
No Bud Light Ultra.
But to the music world, he's artist Moose Harris.
I'm a good dude. I'll fill your soul like good food.
It's just the one thing that I'll never be able to get rid of is just being involved in something to do with music, entertainment, what may have you.
And as the Cajuns continue to compose wins in harmony, Daniels will keep setting the tone.
Oh, going all the way to the top.
In the
That's
stands,
what I'm trying to do in real life.
while performing his own hits.
See you later, alligator.
On the run.
After a while, crocodile.
And I'm glad to be a part of something that people remember as they come to these games.
Up here.
In Lafayette, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, KETC TV3. At the end of Broadview Drive in Erath sits Big John's Seafood. And in the corner of the restaurant sits a painting of the town's finest.
Now Elijah Mitchell is in. They give it to Mitchell off the right side, pushing for the goal line. Is he in? Touchdown!
It was going up for auction at a cake bingo. No, I'm not a cake bingo person, but I knew I wanted to go to this cake bingo because I had to have this painting.
A design of San Francisco 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell, a native of Erath, a star at UL, but most importantly, someone who means a lot to his community.
The star of the football team took the time to see, to spend time with my grandson and encourage him. So we love Elijah. He means something very special to us.
Though this painting is one of a kind, it's not the only one of Elijah.
We had Project Graduation Gumbo Cook-Off, and this was the painting that they were auctioning off.
His elementary school teacher has the first sketch, and even back then, she knew he'd be a star, one that will soon play in the Super Bowl.
I messaged him and I said, Elijah, I just want you to know I'm so proud, I'm so happy, and I'll be watching you and cheering you on.
So you may wonder, who is the artist behind these works of art?
I have who it was donated to.
Jerome Pio brushed his way into Cajun country from New Orleans and graduated from UL.
None of these looked like that to start.
He became the superintendent in Vermilion Parish and drew closer to the neighborhood.
I fell in love with the culture, the people, the faith community. There's nothing, there's second to none here in Erath.
Outside of his love for Erath, he grew an admiration of the running back's character, and it inspired him to depict Mitchell's heart on a canvas.
It's like he's a symbol of what we're about. Elijah's living a dream, and with each of these paintings, I attempted to capture a moment of time that could be relived.
And when the 49ers take the field against Kansas City on Sunday, the town of Erath will draw closer to their TVs, watching the kid who's always been as priceless as these paintings worth 1,000 words.
It's just phenomenal that someone from Erath made it to the NFL, but not only just made it, that's not good enough. Now he's made it to the Super Bowl. Now the next one's to win it.
In Erath, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, KETC TV3.